Compliance Monitor. Hello WeatherTrack listeners, and thanks for joining me for today's update on the WeatherTrack Central Compliance Monitor. Today, we'll be detailing all of the features available on the Compliance Monitor, including some format updates we've made to the Site Compliance tool, driven at making that tool more usable and making sure that the information displayed is current and correct. And after that, we'll look at the Program Grouping tool, which is a great way of leveraging the power of the cloud-based management to make sure that all of your controllers are staying current with their compliance programming. Our demonstration will begin at the WeatherTrack homepage, where we'll go over to the Compliance Monitor tab and select the Site Compliance tool. So we'll click on that Site Compliance, and the first thing you want to do is use the drop-down menu to select the site that you want to manage. And once you've selected the right site, you'll be tapped into all of the site compliance tools. For today's water managers, staying on top of site issues and making sure that all of your controllers are in compliance is always top of mind. So WeatherTrack creates the site compliance page to display for a water manager all of the site compliance issues that they need to manage to. For our demonstration, we'll be looking at the site compliance information for the Meadowview HOA. And the first thing we see displayed is the Water Agency drought information. This is intended to display the communication from your water agency about their drought program, or whatever information or restrictions that they are putting forth. This is of paramount importance for a water manager because there's often fines and penalties that can be applied for not abiding by these restrictions. To program this on the site compliance page, we find the Water Agency line and click the Change button. Then we'll select from the drop-down menu the water agency that applies for this site. If you don't see your water agency listed, please let us know by clicking this Let Us Know icon and then sending us the email that's automatically generated after you fill out the water agency and contact information for the water agency you wish to have added. Please allow our team 48 hours to process that information and add your water agency to the site compliance options. Once the correct agency is displayed, the first thing we do is verify that the link displayed is the current communication from your water agency, and check the date that link was last modified on weathertrack.net. Water agencies often change these restrictions with little or no notice, so we can't be too careful in making sure that we have the most current information. And again, if you ever see weathertrack.net displaying dated information, please click this change button and let us know. And once we're sure we're displaying the correct link, all of your water agency's restriction information will be displayed here on the site compliance page. So in this example, we see our days of the week restriction, we see our time of the day restriction, and we see some specialized bullet points for this water district specifically. So the site compliance tool is designed to give a water manager a resource to stay tied in to the restrictions that are being mandated by your water agency. It also makes it easy to display to your customer or anyone else involved in the water management project. Then beyond that, the next thing you'll find on the Compliance Monitor is some quick links to your site page and your site map to use as reference information. Then, if we scroll back to the top, you'll see the drought information, not only for your site, but for your entire state. Specifically, we tie in the U.S. Drought Monitor so we can display the varying levels of drought around the state. And scrolling down, finally, we get to the Site Compliance tool, where, if you take time to plug in your site compliance tools and define exactly when irrigation is allowed, you can set this for all of your controllers in a district, and then run a report called the Account Compliance Report, which will tell you which sites of yours are in compliance, which sites are out of compliance, leaving you subject to fines and penalties, and which sites don't have enough information to allow us to make that call. It's important to point out that if you have a site that the Compliance Monitor doesn't have an updated link for, the site compliance page simply won't display any restriction information. You will be able to go in and update your water agency, but if we don't have an updated link, we simply won't display their restriction information. If you have an updated link, again, please let us know. Once we understand our local restrictions, the next step is to make sure the sites and systems that we manage adhere to those restrictions, and our schedules only run during those restricted days and times. Usually the start times, water windows, and water day modes for a controller are controlled on the program page of weathertrack.net and can always be managed there. However, here on the Compliance Monitor tab, we have the Program Grouping feature that allows us to edit many programs across many controllers at the same time, making our programming time as water managers as efficient as it can be. To begin, we'll go to the Compliance Monitor tab and the Program Grouping tool. And we'll start by pushing this Create New Group button in the upper right-hand corner. When we do that, we see a list of all of the controllers that we've been given access to. So the first step in creating a program group is selecting the controllers that contain the programs that we want represented in our group. To do this, we use the controller selection box to select all or any subset of the controllers in our WeatherTrack account. Once you select the controllers that you want represented in the group, we'll hit the Next button, and when it saves through, the group of controllers that we selected will now be displayed program by program, and we'll see all of the programs on all of the controllers we selected. So you see right here where my Alligator Park controller ends, the second controller in our group, or the Austin, Texas demo, begins. Now, step 2 is to select the programs from these controllers that we want in our program group. In most cases, you would select all, but again, we use the selection boxes to select the programs that we want. If you wanted to, you could use these sort and filter tools to help you identify which programs we want. For example, if we wanted to make a group out of all of our Program B programs on all of these controllers, we would use the filter box under the appropriate column. In this case, we would want to sort by the program letter, so we would go to that filter box and type in B. And after the filter, we would only be displaying all of the program Bs from every controller that we selected. So if we wanted to make this limited group, these filtering tools are a huge advantage. However, in our example, we want to select all the programs from all of these controllers. So we'll make sure all of the filtering boxes are cleared, and then we'll select all controllers. Then we'll give that group a name. In this case, we'll call it All Controllers, All Programs. Then we hit the Save button to save this as a station group. Now we've successfully created this program group, and we can see the details like the program name, All Controllers, All Programs, and the totals saying this group contains 40 programs from 5 different controllers. And now that we've created this group, we can update all 40 programs with the same programming change at the same time. So if we wanted to, we could give all 40 programs the same start time and water window. In our example, we're going to give all 40 programs the same water day mode because this is the most common type of restriction. So I select the water day mode called Days of the Week. Then I select the days that I want, in this case Tuesday and Friday. I'll hit Set, and then I'll hit Update 40 programs, and that same program change will be sent to all 40 programs in this group. So using the program grouping tool is a great way to make sure that all of the programs that you manage are adhering to those compliance regulations and only watering when your restrictions allow. If you have more questions about the Compliance Monitor, please contact our support team, who provides 6-day-a-week bilingual customer support on all our features. And you can get a hold of them at support@hydropoint.com or 1-800-362-8774.